Hey everybody, welcome to the show. And I just recently got my rippazine, and I took a deep dive into it, and I've come to give you my humble review. Now, I read over this guy, Salvage PI. I read over it a couple times because I wanted to give my honest take, and I didn't want it to just be one of those excited, yes, I love it type things. I wanted to actually tell you what I thought about it because, like, so I marinated on it for a minute, and this is like the fourth, fifth time I've read it. I really like it. I mean, for one, check him out. He's stylish as hell. Like, I mean, there's nothing to not like about this guy. I mean, his sense of style is good. Like, he knows how to fight. I mean, they made him out to be pretty smart. He's not. It's not. I mean, he figures stuff out like pretty easily, but at the same point, this is a relatively, you know. Okay, well, anyway, one of the things I was wanting to get at is it shows that Eric can write a pretty damn good story. Everybody that wanted to trip on ISOM number one and all that, I honestly think that ISOM number one would have been better if it wasn't him trying to introduce us to a whole new world. Now, like I said, I liked ISOM number one. I didn't really find much wrong with it, especially after I looked at it like the first act in a movie or a TV show. I mean, if you look at it from that perspective, it's not bad, especially because issue two was awesome. Like, I loved issue two. And I mean, there's after you like open the prospect, or after you open your mind's eye and like think of it from that prospect, it's not I mean, a lot of the things that y'all are mad about and critiques, they go away, except for the fact that Gabe used my 3D assets. And you know what, I don't even care because the book was still fun. And at the end of the day, all it is something for people to have fun with and enjoy, and get some escapism. So at the end of the day, ISOM 1 was still worth the, like, actually, this whole Ripperverse thing is worth the hundreds of dollars that I've spent on it because I enjoy it and it's pretty good escapism. Now, back to the Salvage PI. I like it. It's a drastically different, like, approach to the comic book. Actually, it's not really different. It's actually kind of a callback because it's a very Noir-esque, like, PI style book. Like, I mean, and like, I love what they did here. They, like the scenery, like, you got his face hidden and you got the client in there, like, giving him the details. And they use this old cheesy line that you used to hear a lot, like, I've got a license to kill. Well, so this dude goes, like, basically says, what's with this license to kill business? And he goes, whoa, 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 your interpretation is, like, way off here. Like, that, because that, basically, I am permitted to use lethal force if it calls for it. I mean, they explain it, and I don't want to ruin it because it's a pretty cool scene to where they take something that you used to hear that was cheesy in some of these old movies and subvert it into something that's actually kind of, it makes sense and it's kind of cool. I mean, the bad guy in the story, well, the the bad guy that you're quickly introduced to reminds me more of like a superhero bad guy, but I think that's kind of cool because now you got like this PI guy going after, like, well, I'm not exactly sure what he is yet. I mean, but it could be some sort of supervillain, or maybe he's just a hired thug, like, and he works for somebody like the Kingpin. I don't know, but they give you little hints in the story about why Salvage is so good, like, because there's this scene here. I don't want to spoil it, but it has something to do with like his ear, like his hearing. And it makes me wonder, like, does he have super hearing? Is he sort of like that dude from the show The Sentinel? Like, does he have like extra, perks? Is he, does he have some sort of acceptability, but not like not like at the ISOM level or the Yaira level, but can he, is he just like a little special? You know what I'm saying? Because I mean, like, he's got an exceptional fighting ability. I mean, he's a great shot. Like, and there's also a scene in here that shows that he's not just in it to kill a bunch of people, because he doesn't kill this one guy and he goes, "Oh, hey, you took, that was a pretty smart choice what you did there." So instead, he just knocks him out and, lets him, but he doesn't kill him. So it shows that he's not just like on a murder rampage. He's just fighting for his life here, and I mean, they pretty much give you an entire first issue of a normal comic book whenever it came to this salvage character. And then I started looking, and there's a little nod. There's like little what do you call it? Previews of all the other comics so far, and they're like the page length of it all reminds me of like issues, like how much you'd get in an issue of a actual comic book. I believe. Like, I'm looking, one, two. Okay, not quite, because this is like the ISOM preview is only 8 pages. Well, anyway, you get like quite a few pages of the Salvage PI. Like, it reminds me of like an entire first issue of a comic book, and the rest of them, I mean, almost. And I mean, so it's almost like you get 4 or 5 comic books just in here, and you get all kinds of other cool stuff. Like, you get like a character spotlight. This month it was for Altona, and I don't want to give too much away, but you have these different you have all these really cool interviews with like Chuck Dixon, Mike Barron. They're done by the Saska sisters, and like, it's really cool because they also have an interview with someone that used to play Superman. I don't want to give it away, but y'all probably already know who I'm talking about. And it's really cool because he's advertising other people's comics as well. It's not just a bunch of Riververse stuff. Like, and yeah, like, it's work that his crew has done with other comic places. Like, but I mean, it's really neat. And I mean, Blood Ruth horoscopes. That's not really a spoiler, because they have it on the front. And I mean, Lillian's hot tea, or like Gossip and More. I mean, it's really cool. It's like some of these characters from the Rippaverse are writing little articles for the rippazine. Like, it's really neat. I like it. It's a cool concept. And you have like menu items for places around Flores Park, like Club Mercs, Darren's drink list. That's awesome. Harriet's Kitchen. I'm not sure what that is, but I'm reading it. It sounds like it's going to be kind of good. Thought about making it, actually. I mean, why not? If I'm buying the magazine, I might as well utilize it for everything it's got. And oh man, like, I like it. It's really cool. It gives me like old school comic book uh vibes. Like, you got merch in the back that you can buy. Meet the Staff has a highlight. It's like, it really gives me like Wizard vibes, but just for the Rippaverse, and I really like that. And for those of y'all that haven't been keeping it, like, just, I'm not going to give away what it is. I'm not even going to show you. But the last page is awesome. It's hilarious. Like, it's great. Just keep an eye out for the very last page if you get yours. It's a great way to introduce your kids into it, to see if they want it. Hell, it's great that if you're a parent and you're like, well, I don't know if it's going to be too much for my kid, maybe I should give it a try. Well, guess what? You can spend $7 and get this rippazine. Check it out and see if it's something you want to give to your kids. I mean, it's great. It's an all around little introduction into the world, and who knows, you might wind up finding something you really like. So it's a great concept. I really really enjoyed Salvage PI, regardless if it's like just an ongoing little thing they do in here for a little while and then it runs into a bigger book, or if they just take these first initial pages and write a bigger book out of it. Like, either way, it would be cool. But I don't know, for some reason, I like the idea of having a little ongoing series for the first 3 issues or so and wrapping up that little storyline and then maybe releasing another Salvage PI, like actual book with a new adventure. And you could tie in some of these characters that you're introducing in his original stories, and everybody that's been keeping up with the rippazine will know the backstory. I mean, yeah, it'll be a little bit more mysterious for people that haven't read the rippazine, but I mean that's still cool too, because then you still get to learn about these characters as we go along. I mean, either way, it's going to be cool. And if Eric or the Soskas are listening, if y'all want to take that idea and run with it, I mean, go for it. Like, as you guys are great, and if y'all are looking to hire somebody, I'm a really decent writer. I am not an artist. I know my strengths. I know my weaknesses. I can come up with a good story, but drawing, no. I'm pretty sure that the Eric sketch is 10 times better than anything I could do. So, well, I hope you guys pick up the rippazine, and I really hope that you wind up finding something you like in the Rippaverse, because it's been a whole lot of fun so far, and uh, they just want to make good books, guys. That's all. It's not a cult. It's not, you know, it's not a bunch of assholes. There's just a whole lot of people out there that I'll get into that in another video about the Rippaverse detractors that I just don't understand. Like, why can't we just get along and make good books and have some fun? I mean, it is what it is. But the Saska sisters, you can tell they've had a lot to do with this book, and that's pretty cool. And I'm glad. I'm glad, because it's a whole lot of fun. And that's all I really got for now. Like, Salvage PI was an awesome character. I loved Yaira #1. Yaira #1, story wise, has probably been my favorite so far. But Isom 1 and 2 as a whole have been pretty good once they're together. Because like I said, episode, like, it to me, he wrote it like he would write a bigger book, and there's nothing wrong with that. Like, I mean, you can tell Ill Advised itself is going to be like a whole story, as opposed to like Alpha Core, which was its own little nice little contained, introduction to these characters. Wham bam, thank you, ma'am. And I can't wait to see where that goes next. But I mean, Yaira kind of did something similar. I mean, yeah, they left a whole lot of threads you could pull, but it's not one of those things you're waiting for it. Like, I mean, you're waiting for it because you want to see where it goes next. But at the same point, you can read Yaira and be satisfied at the end, going, well, I can't wait to see where they go next. Sort of like the ending of a movie. There's going to be a part 2. And, you don't know when, but you're going to be excited for it. As opposed to where at the end of Isom #1, I was like, well, now I need #2 because I really need to know what's going on. I mean, it's all great in its own way. I'm glad we didn't have to wait too long between those 2 books, at least. But I can't wait to see where we go next. Salvage PI was a whole lot of fun. I am on a tangent, so I'm gonna cut myself off right here. Like, subscribe, hit the bell notifications. Leave comments. I love comments. I love reading them. And if you guys got anything else you want me to check out or talk about, send it my way. I'm gonna do more than just reviews for shows and comic books. I've got some other things in the pipeline up here that I'm trying to figure out how to do. But Have a good day, and I can't wait to see what happens next.